Hello?
Hey there YouTube, and welcome to my Let's Play for Spookyfest, which is an event being hosted by ViralRak and Shakepool. For this I'm going to be doing a Let's Play of this game you can see right here, Zombie Panic in Wonderland. And you can tell from the title alone it's kind of a unique game. Like, that title alone just sort of grabs your attention and, you know, you really want to know what it's about. What it essentially is there's a few different fairy tale characters and zombies. The gameplay style is kind of like a third-person House of the Dead arcade sort of situation. But I'm not actually going to start a new game, I'm going to be carrying on what I've got already, which I know, complete shock for Let's Plays, carrying on an already saved game. My god. But anyway, what we're going to do is go into the story. I'm going to play as the default character here, which is Momotaro. Now, you may be wondering, well, what fairy tale is Momotaro on? I'll tell you after this opening cutscene. Right, so here we are playing with Momotaro in what's basically the gameplay format you'll be seeing for all of this game. But Momotaro is actually from a Japanese folklore tale about a boy that's... I believe the tale is just called Little Peach Boy. It's about a boy that was found by two people, and he was found inside of a peach, which you can see on the back of his actual outfit here, has a little peach, because his name literally translates to Peach Boy. But anyway, in that story he befriended a dog, a pheasant and a monkey, and they went on various adventures defeating demons and ogres and stuff. But they might wonder why I'm giving you so much backstory. Well, it actually does play into a lot of how Momotaro's gameplay is actually designed. I've already called attention to the peach on the back of his outfit, but you'll see by the end of the boss at the end of the stage that you'll see where a lot of his stories actually come into it. But anyway, for gameplay wise, what we've got is a Wii Remote and nunchuck setup. Use the nunchuck to go back and forth like this. With your Wii Remote you're just pointing and pressing B. And it's kind of a motion control thing on the Wii Remote I kind of like, because if there's one thing the Wii Remote does okay for... it does it pretty well actually for motion control, it's actual just plain pointing. When you're pointing and shooting a gun it actually works rather effectively. Now what you've seen there is another mechanic, which is when an enemy gets up close to you, you can press Z and B, so Z on the nunchuck, B on the Wii Remote, to actually use Momotaro's katana that he's got there. You can actually just press Z on its own and with a direction and flip from side to side. You also in the bottom corner where it says I've got infinite ammo for my machine gun, that I've also got 3 rockets that I can use. So if I just press A, it just shoots a rocket and it can be used to destroy enemies and various parts of the environment, because there is various environmental things that can be destroyed in the background. Pressing the C button will allow me to switch my weapons from this machine gun to a more powerful machine gun that has limited ammo, or to a flamethrower which has rather amazing range actually for a flamethrower. Z and B again. In the top left you can see where my score is and how many hits I've got left. You might think it's extra lives, but you only have 1 hit per life, so it's basically how many hits you've got before you get game over. and in the other corner you can see that it's got press to shoot, play to, press shoot to start, but because I've not got anybody else playing with me, it's just going to be me on my lonesome, and to be honest, you really don't need a co-op partner in this because it's quite a short game. It's enjoyable, but you know, short, and you really don't need a partner to help you out. It's pretty easy, I say as I get hit, but in fact the hardest boss in the game is actually the first one that we're going to be coming up to, and that's where another part using Momotaro for it actually going to come in. Now you might think from the fact that using a Japanese folklore tale and the sort of art style for what's going on in this game, you might think it's like a indie Japanese developer, but it's actually a Spanish developer, which I was rather surprised about. A Spanish developer called Akioni, and this is only one of 2 games that they've actually produced in the time they've been around. Another one was a game called Animal Boxing for the Nintendo DS, which, to be honest, I've never played, but it doesn't sound like the most exciting of games. It sounds like shovelware, to be quite blunt, but this game is actually quite enjoyable, so I might actually check it out at some point. This game that I'm playing is the WiiWare version, but there is actually a Zombie Panic in Wonderland Plus for Android, and I believe other forms of tablets also have it on, but I think it's on Android and Apple markets, but I really do think that the motion controls actually do a favour for this game. But anyway, for another mechanic, let's say that you'll find various objects that you can shoot and they will actually create an explosion, like this Daruma doll here. See if I can hit it. There we go. The explosions will affect all the enemies around it and any structures that are actually there as well. See at the top you can see we've got a time ticking out, and obviously if we don't complete the stage in time we have to restart over. At the very bottom you can see where it says cleanup and a percentage. You have to reach 100% on the cleanup and then you can progress to the next stage. So you don't have to destroy all enemies, but there is a percentage that's ticking up, and let's see, around 95, so we've nearly finished the first stage already. And that's the first area, so moving on to the second level. Whenever you're ready, Momotaro. Right, now you might have seen that I've changed my clothing here for Momotaro. It's just because I wanted to show off the other design that there is for him. Because there's actually 2 of them. One is intended for player 1 to use and the other for player 2 to use, obviously. As you can see here, he's taken on a sort of new orange outfit. Because apparently orange ninjas are a thing. Who would have thought it? But yeah, I kind of really like this game. It's incredibly short, as you'll see for the whole length of this LP, but because trust me, this series is only going to be about 3 or 4 videos long, so we won't be playing this for long. But it's just like, I've decided to play this now because A, Spookyfest is going on, I wanted to take part in that, but B, it's also a game that takes less time for me to do an entire playthrough of than to edit an episode of the Pokemon TCG series. And to be blunt, sometimes you just need a bit of a break from editing like the same videos over and over. So as much as I enjoy doing LPs, sometimes you just gotta take a quick break between them. But hopefully, like, the length of my Pokemon TCG LP will not become like Proton John's Superman 64 LP, which is now 3 years in the making, but and that was a rather weird sound effect. I've not heard that in the game before, to be blunt. But as you can see, like that demon thing that Momotaro was actually fighting there was kind of influenced by Momotaro's story. Because that's how typically demons and ogres are depicted in Japan. And can you see why I thought it was a Japanese development team at all? Like, just the art style alone and their choice of first playable character, because there are multiple playable characters in this. But their first playable one is a guy who happens to be Japanese folklore. So, I'm going to use my more powerful machine gun here to try to take these out a bit quicker. There you go. So just quick press on the C button, swap between them. And you can see our little percentage just slowly ticking up there, but I can really recommend getting this game because I think it's only 1,000 Wii points as well, so not sure how much that would calculate to in each person's specific company and each person's specific country rather than company, excuse me. But yeah, it's pretty enjoyable, and there's really big demon to actually go with, but just use rocket launcher on him a couple of times. And wow, I've actually racked up a fair few of them. I normally never get into like double digits, I'm still holding on to 13 now after using them to take out the big guy, so yeah, it's a rather sizable chunk. And you can see we've rescued another little dwarf there. He just runs around. I think you can hit him, but didn't realise I got hit that many times during all that. Right, here's a continue screen. I'll get back up to roughly the same point we were in the stage. Right, so I think I'm roughly up to the same percentage point, so I'm just going to come back in here. But right, yeah, you can see that we've saved another little dwarf, and they'll play into like a lot of the plot as it goes along. Like, as you can probably have told by the little cutscene there that we had just before the stage. But yeah, I think I kind of prefer this alternate Momotaro design, but because the Peach design is the one that's used in all the cutscenes, I will be flipping back to that since it's more canonical, I guess. But they're both really well designed actually, and like I was saying, like, Momotaro's not the only playable character in this. It's the default one, but he's not the only one. We'll be getting into the others that you can get in a little bit, because spoiler alert, you do unlock characters as you go along in this game, although it is rather obnoxious how you have to unlock a few of them. So yeah, just giving you a quick warning on that if you're interested in getting the game. Like, these skeletons, you should generally aim for the bodies rather than the heads, because if you aim for the bodies they don't come back, whereas if you aim for the heads they actually do. So yeah, you'll find that some skeletons later on will come back regardless of which part you hit, but they come back less if you hit the body, so it's just a thing to keep in mind. Also, a majority of the zombies' weak points are the head. But anyway, we cleared up the second area, so now we're going to go on to the first world's boss. So whenever you're ready, Momotaro. Alright, so here we are back as Peach Boy Momotaro, and here we are with the first level's boss. This is basically a chimera creature made out of Momotaro's friends from his story, the dog, the monkey, and the pheasant. And it's actually a really tricky boss, possibly the hardest one in the game. Because you'll find this trait with a lot of bosses is that they are incredibly good bullet sponges. They'll just soak up pretty much everything you'll throw at them for a while. You can see there's no timer in the boss levels, but the cleanup bar essentially acts like a boss's health bar, so you can see how much damage you've done to it. In this case we've got 16% down already, so it's not bad. So you've just got to keep pelting it with fire, and if you can try taking out the wings, like if you're a good enough shot at it, but I prefer having the body as a fully shot, because if any of you have played Smash Bros. Brawl in the Subspace Emissary mode, the the first boss of that, you have to pick one of 2 cages to shoot, and depending on which one, and if you don't kick a cage to shoot, you hit the boss's body instead, then it splits the damage evenly across both of the cages. There's a similar situation here, and as you can see, it's took enough damage to one side of its body to lose a wing. And now, instead of having the ability to drop eggs and drop the pink like bomb stuff on us, it can only shoot fireballs from the ground, which is a lot easier to dodge actually. But this isn't even its final form, so yeah, you gotta focus a lot on the other wing that's remaining if you can. That'll deal the most damage to it, and then it'll quickly move on to its next form after you've dealt a bit more damage to the face as well. So yeah, you're in for a long one with this one, because I think now it's lost both of its wings, it really can't move around as much, so as you can see it's just sort of standing in one spot. So once you've got rid of its mobility, it will eventually change into the dog form. Now, the dog form I find is the most like annoying form and most difficult to avoid. See, it just like throws out these boulders from the ground, and it'll keep spraying back and forth, and also it'll occasionally take some leaps at you. If you hit it enough, it turns into the monkey form. I'm actually getting through this boss a lot easier than I normally do, because it, in my opinion, hardest boss in the game, first boss. I'm just opening up with my heavy machine gun, and I seem to take it out already. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.